1700 Zulu time, my delta's looking good. I don't think that's what we're talking about, is it, when we're talking about a business co-pilot? That was the theme of this week's conversation, which was released on Thursday in your favourite apps. David Holland is a business co-pilot. Essentially, a business coach, but it sounds a lot better, doesn't it? Every week, telemarketing trainer and expert Wendy Harris is celebrating the importance of personal communication with business professionals. And this week was no exception, as she chatted to David Holland all about his role as a business co-pilot.
There's this sort of badge envy or brand envy. Certainly when it comes to cars, you've got to have the latest Mercedes or BMW or Porsche, whatever it is, and you can see this. And they're fabulous cars, they're great cars, but it's sort of the reasoning behind it.
We discussed our key takeaways from the episode.
Here's an example of a guy who kind of fell into what he's doing now 20 odd years ago by accident and has found the lifestyle that he absolutely loves, not just for himself, but for his family. The whole family are on board with it. And he gets to help so many people along the way. And I don't know, there was just a real warmth about David. He's currently on his way. I think he's planning his route back out to Poland to help with the Ukraine crisis. And he's plotting his route via the McDonald's stops, I think. So, big shout out to McDonald's.
Sponsorship is available.
I just think that, I really struggled, thinking that we were going to be chatting about David. And I was kind of like, I got this real sort of comfort blanket wrapped round me with David that I can't sort of see past that there's just this worry less feeling to his whole approach of what he wants to do. What did you think, Neal? Because, you listen as intently as I do in having the conversation. What struck you most about David?
The first thing that struck me was the lack of the use of the word business coach. I loved that. What was it? He calls himself business co-pilot. That's just stunning, because I do feel, and I work, as you know, I work with a business coach, and I think business coaches are extremely valuable. And I can't recommend working with a business coach enough, because it really does help you get outside your own head, which is really easy for us as business owners to do. But I feel like the business coach term is oversaturated and tainted by some of the so-called business coaches that are actually business gurus that have failed and monetized their failure. He is the real deal. And I think what stood out for me is it's not even just about the business acumen with David. The story he told about the prisoner and how that all came about, that conversation, and how having that conversation, and being that this show is all about conversations on brand, the conversation that he had with him, which acted as a turning point in that guy's life and career.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Just wow.
Yeah, and it's that comfort blanket. That I think this is why the comfort blanket analogy keeps coming into my mind, is because there was no judgment. It is what it is. We can't change it. We can't do anything about it. All we can do is how we deal with it now and embracing it. And I think that really unlocked that guy's life to go, well, if you were okay with it, then perhaps other people will be too. And actually, it was about embracing that as part of his fabric to go on and be successful himself, which really made me think. And of course, David's got this great event that's coming up. This will be April 2022, and it's fairly local to me. It's in my diary. I think it's 195 quid to go and spend the day with him, and he's offering it to us as Making Conversations Count listeners for 50 quid.
Wow. You'd be an idiot not to, really, wouldn't you? Let's get on it.
You can spend 50 quid going and networking, right?
True.
To actually go and meet somebody who will get you, and you will feel welcome and supported. That's good use of money, I think, and time.
So there you have it. If you would like to carry on the conversation with David, then make sure you go to makingconversationscount.com and click on his episode post. To give you a clue, it's episode number 77. And if you haven't yet listened to that episode, I suggest you go and do it now. Next week, we've got something of a mini masterclass with the marketing guru of LinkedIn, Marcus Sheridan. Yes, the same, the Paul guy, and the author of They Ask, You Answer. Until Thursday, enjoy carrying on those conversations.